Oh, hello everybody. I'm going to do one of those fun videos where people have asked other people on their social media to respond with some assumptions about them, things that they don't know to be a fact but assume to be true. And I got a lot of funny and tea-based ones in return, so we're going to launch into that now. This is my phone. I'm going to have to put this down and not touch it for the rest of the day because I use my phone so much that I've got hand ache. How sad is that? Okay. Here we go. The first one is from Matt Neil Hill. You live in an enchanted time-travelling teapot. And close, but no, it's a shoe. Duncan P. Bradshaw, who is my fellow British Bizarro community person, says, I know for a fact that on the 12th day of each month you skim stones across the water of your gigantic bath. And then in capitals he says, tell us the truth. And the answer to that, again, is no. On the 12th day, myself and some hedgehogs play croquet, and they're quite whimsical, these, aren't they? Susie Snake, who's got a YouTube channel that I find quite funny, it's weird dolls and weird stuff. It's amusing, you should have a look. She says, I assume that you know magic. If you get annoyed with anyone enough, you could easily turn them into a frog. Also, you could do nice things like magic a big cake with frosting and sprinkles. If I had a superpower, it would be to conjure a cake at any given moment. It's quite an important superpower to have, I feel. Jason White says, of Jason Weird Reads on YouTube, you love going to thrift stores. And that is true. My friend and I love going to, charity shops we call them here. We love going to them so much that we just call them chazzers. Shall we go chazzering? It's become like is that a verb? Oh my God, I don't even know. But it's become a thing that we do. And I like to pretend that it's the 20s, of course, and that I'm going to Fifth Avenue in New York, except I can afford all the clothes. RDSP editor Jay Barnes, which is, I believe, Jennifer Barnes of Raw Dog Screaming Press, says you have a good sense of humour and often cackle to yourself. And yeah, I remember having a conversation with a housemate of mine at university, and I said, when you do that thing when you're walking down the road and then you remember something funny and you start laughing? And she said, you must be a really happy person. And I thought, you must be a really sad person if you don't do that. But yeah, I do often laugh at my own jokes, but Bill also laughs at his own jokes, so we are evenly matched. Lillian G says you rock out to music from the Roaring Twenties. And again, yes, I do indeed. I have a playlist on my MP3 player of 20s music, and there's quite a lot on there. Very jazzy, upbeat numbers. Crystal Lefleur says you don't smoke, hate it in fact, but you own several cigarette holders and use them while you write. And weirdly enough, I have got a cigarette holder. It's from a costume. I went to a party and used it for a costume, and it's just kind of lying around. I don't use it while I write. What I do though is spray myself with perfume before I write, because apparently Dorothy Parker used to wear a lot of perfume. I don't write like her at all, but I kind of conjure in her authorness, which is really silly, but I like it, you know. Ginger Nuts of Horror said, I assume you are one of the exalted and love coffee creams, and you would be wrong. I do, however, like chocolate orange. Vlad Beaverhausen says, you do much of your writing in haunted hotel rooms, which you travel the country in search of with the help of Jim Morrison's ghost. He smells of Earl Grey tea. That does sound quite exhausting. I would very much not mind doing that maybe a couple of times a year if I had the money to. I did stay in an Airbnb at Taliston House. It's not technically haunted, but I'm not a believer in ghosts anyway. But the rooms are all decorated very fantastically, and it was called the haunted bedroom that I stayed in. So yeah, kind of true, I suppose. David Court says you have a Heath Robinson style Darjeeling tea dispenser with a huge one-armed bandit style mirrored handle. No, but that sounds amazing, and I am immediately looking that up. Lisa Cantoral says you are a fashion addict, and I am actually. She probably knows from the things that I tweet, and I mention it in lots of stories as well. I love balmy fashion. I love Tim Walker, the photographer. It's very fantastical. Shilpa Sivan did like an Alice in Wonderland style. Well, she called it a happening because it wasn't a runway show. She just kind of like got her models to go into a empty shop or something and pose in the window. And I really like Jill Navarro, who does like rave style knitwear. So yeah, anything like balmy and fashion related I do enjoy. Ben Walker says you murdered a swan and claimed its name, adding an extra N to throw the police off the trail. If I had, I would not be able to admit it, because I believe that swan murdering is illegal in this country. I don't actually know if that's true. It's probably the same as that. It's perfectly fine to shoot a Welshman with a crossbow in a certain area. I think you're still going to be done for murder. I don't think that old law is going to save you. And Lisa Cantoral also said you ride a rainbow sloth to the bathroom from your bed every morning. And indeed, that is true. Gary Buller said, I always assumed you spent most days having afternoon tea. One with egg and cress sandwiches, small slices of Battenberg cake and chocolate hobnobs. If I wasn't worried about my waistline, I would 100% do that every day, because chocolate hobnobs are an absolute weakness of mine. Those Twixies, I can't even think about it. I'm on a diet, and that makes me very sad. Paul Shirley said you were homeless for a short time and out of necessity you once ate roadkill. It was not roadkill, it was orphans. So I'm just going to see if there's any secret hiding ones. I believe that there's one from Boswit Flem, which is, yes, my friend's dad. He said, I assume that you time warped here from 1925. It is indeed true. What I tend to do is I watch a lot of silent films, and I will notice a particular outfit that I enjoy, and I'll look up the most colourful version of it on eBay or something like that. So I'll, like, for example, the hat that Latrice Joy wore in Manslaughter, I got very excited over, so I had a look on eBay and found like a velvet purple version with some rainbow markings. So that's how I do the psychedelic flapper thing. Okay, those are all I can find, and again, I'm really sorry if I've missed yours. It wasn't through any kind of burning hatred or anything like that. Do let me know if I did miss yours, and I'll mention it in the comments or something. So yeah, thanks very much. That was fun. I enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.